Important note: this is timeless and powerful wisdom that has influenced and improved the life of millions. Now that you have attracted it to your awareness, you must install it deep into your subconscious mind to experience a real change. Read the description below this video and choose the links among multiple options that will aid you in achieving the optimum results you seek. The journey to success is just one decision away. Thank you for listening and subscribing to Top Mindset Growth Channel.
You are one decision away from a life-changing transformation. There is a moment, a flicker in time, when everything changes. It doesn't come with thunder. It doesn't come with applause. It comes in silence, in the privacy of your own mind. When you decide, once and for all, that you will no longer be ruled by fear, by excuses, by the life that was handed to you instead of the one you were born to build. You are one decision away, one decision from drawing a line in the sand and saying, no more. No more waiting. No more wishing. No more blaming the world, the economy, your past, your pain. Because everything you need is already within you, and it always has been. But until now, it was dormant, buried under layers of doubt, distraction, and disillusion. But now you see it, now you feel it, that electric pull in your chest, the whisper that says, it's time. That whisper is destiny, and destiny doesn't shout. It waits for you to rise. It waits for you to choose. The man who built the light bulb, Thomas Edison, made over 1,000 attempts before success. Not failures, attempts. Every one of them a decision, every one of them a step closer to brilliance. What would have happened if he stopped at 999? That's the difference between the ordinary and the exceptional. One more try, one more refusal to quit, one more decision to move forward when everything inside you says, sit down and give up. This is the truth they don't teach in school, and you won't find in the noise of the world. Your transformation does not begin when you feel ready. It begins when you decide. And decision is not a thought. It's not a wish. It is a commitment born in fire. When Henry Ford said, I'm going to build a car the average man can afford, the world laughed. He didn't ask for their approval. He made a decision, and that decision built an empire. But understand this, a decision means nothing if it is not backed by belief, not hope. Belief. Hope is passive. Belief is power. Hope says, maybe. Belief says, watch me. You cannot transform a single cell of your reality without belief. And belief is not inherited. It's not handed to you by parents, teachers, or society. You build it like a fortress, brick by brick, with discipline, with pain, with faith in a vision that only you can see. Every titan you admire, from Carnegie to Disney, they saw something before it was real. They didn't wait for the world to validate their dreams. They validated them with unwavering belief. The question is, will you? Will you believe in a version of yourself that hasn't shown up yet? Because that is the bridge from the man or woman you are to the one you're destined to become. And on the other side of that bridge is clarity. Clarity is a weapon. It cuts through fog, fear, and distraction. Without clarity, you will be busy but not effective, active but not alive. Clarity is knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going, not in vague terms and vivid, soul-igniting detail. A man with clarity walks into a room differently. His presence speaks before he does, because clarity creates conviction, and conviction moves mountains. If you don't know where you're going, you'll follow anyone with a map. But when your vision is clear, when you've burned it into your mind so many times that it becomes part of your nervous system, nothing and no one can stop you. That's why vision matters. Not because it's motivational, because it's essential. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job because they said he lacked imagination. Imagine that. But he didn't let their vision of him become his. He held his own so tightly, so ferociously, that he turned a mouse into a kingdom. That's what vision does. It breathes life into the impossible. It turns laughter into legacy. But vision without purpose is like fire without oxygen. It dies. Purpose is the reason behind the reason. It is the why beneath the goal. You don't just want success, you want significance. You want to know that your life mattered, that your struggle meant something, that you left a mark not because of what you had, but because of who you became. Purpose is what wakes you up when your body says stay down. Purpose is what keeps you moving when no one is clapping. It is the sacred contract between your soul and your future. But even purpose, as powerful as it is, needs a guardian. And that guardian is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. It's not motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline stays. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. It's showing up without applause. It's grinding in silence. It's reading when others party. Training while others sleep. Creating while others consume. Every great life was built on a foundation of discipline. Abraham Lincoln read books by candlelight while others rested. That was no accident. That was decision plus discipline equals destiny. If you want to transform, you must embrace the mundane. You must master the boring. Champions are not built in moments of glory. They are forged in hours of invisible, consistent work. You will not rise because you are gifted. You will rise because you are relentless. But here's the trap. Action without alignment will burn you out. Movement alone is not progress. So you must align your action with your vision, your belief, your purpose. When they are in harmony, action becomes effortless. Not easy, effortless. Because when your heart and your hands are moving in the same direction, momentum becomes your ally. And yet, the ones who win don't just act, they adapt. The world is not static, neither is success. You will be tested. Your plans will fail. People will let you down. The market will shift. The storm will come. And when it does, the question will not be, were you ready? The question will be, did you bend or break? Adaptability is the trait of titans. The oak tree that refuses to bend breaks in the wind. But the bamboo survives because it moves, adjusts, pivots, endures. If your plan crumbles, adapt. If your strategy fails, evolve. If the world says no, find another door. And if there is no door, build one. That is how transformation happens. Not once, but again and again and again. Every adaptation is a decision. Every decision is a seed. And the harvest of those seeds is resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to rise above it. It is the refusal to let suffering become identity. It is what makes a man bulletproof in a world that fires daily. You cannot be great and fragile. You cannot demand transformation and avoid tribulation. The fire you fear is the fire that forges. Remember this, diamonds are made under pressure. Steel is tempered by flame. And you are no different. You are not broken. You are becoming. But resilience without reflection is blindness. To grow, you must learn. Learning is not memorizing facts. It is evolving in response to truth. It's the discipline of humility, the courage to admit you don't know it all, that you've been wrong, that your ego has been in the way. Carnegie once said, "As I grow older, I pay less attention to what men say. I just watch what they do." That is the mindset of a learner. The wise man doesn't speak to impress. He listens to improve. The world will teach you if you're humble enough to be taught. Failure is a teacher. Rejection is a teacher. Even betrayal is a teacher. But only if you stop asking, why me, and start asking, why, what now? The moment you stop learning is the moment you start dying. And every man who transformed, truly transformed, became a student of life first. a student of pain, a student of progress, a student of themselves. Because you cannot master the world until you master your mind. And here's what the mind resists most: stillness. But in stillness, you will discover your final weapon: gratitude. Not the kind you post about, not the kind you say at the dinner table once a year, but the kind that makes your heart throb with life. The kind that says, I am thankful now, not when I arrive, not when I succeed, not when I'm seen, but now. Because if you cannot appreciate the dirt, you do not deserve the crown. Gratitude turns survival into strength. It turns pressure into presence. It turns the small sacred things into fuel: the breath in your lungs, the fire in your belly, the fact that you woke up today with another shot, another chance to fight for the life you still have time to build. When you walk in gratitude, you stop competing. You start creating. You stop chasing what you lack, and you begin multiplying what you have. And in that space, where belief, clarity, purpose, discipline, and resilience meet with gratitude, you become unstoppable. You become something the world cannot define, cannot contain, cannot ignore. You become a force that builds where others break, a force that lifts where others sink, a force that inspires others to rise not by preaching, but by being, because your life becomes the sermon. Your work becomes the proof. Your results become the roar. And here's the most sacred truth of all. No one can give this to you, not your parents, not your friends, not your mentor, not even life itself. Only you. Only you can make the decision to say, it ends with me. The fear, the excuses, the playing small, I am done. Only you can draw the sword and declare that this is your time. You don't need more followers. You don't need more advice. You don't need one more sign from the universe. You need a decision, a single soul-born, spine-straightening decision that this is the moment you stop existing and start becoming. That decision will not make the path easy, but it will make it real. It will make it yours. And that, more than comfort, more than applause, more than ease, is what you came here for. You came here to evolve. You came here to lead. You came here to transform. And I'm telling you, with everything I have, you are one decision away from a life that will blow your own mind. Not someday, not when the time is right, not after things calm down. Now, right now. Because the world will not wait for your fear to subside. History will not pause for your hesitation. Your potential will not hold its breath for your perfection. You must decide, and then move, and then rise. One decision, one sacred, terrifying, unstoppable decision. The kind that alters the trajectory of generations, the kind that rewrites the script of your bloodline, the kind that turns a once forgotten name into a legend. So ask yourself, not tomorrow, not tonight, not after one more excuse, and ask yourself now, are you ready to decide? Because on the other side of that decision is the person you were meant to become, not one day, but today, right here, right now. You must keep in mind the following. Repetition is the sculptor of your destiny. You will not become what you visualize once. You will become what you visualize consistently, daily, obsessively, until your brain starts adjusting your behaviors, your standards, your environment to match that inner self-image. That's not magic. That's biology. So listen this lesson again and again and again until it gets installed in your brain and in your subconscious mind, until you realize the results you seek.
Important note, click the link below, download a free audio 17 Principles of Success, and access available advanced resources to learn how to reprogram your mind to experience real-life changes and wealth.